Hello. Welcome to this answer video. I've I've been told to giggle less in my videos, but I'm a very giggly person, so I'm going to try to tone it down, but I'm off to a very terrible start. Anyways, hi, how are you? You asked me questions, and I'm here to answer them. Yeah, I think we should get started. This video is probably going to be very long. Just gonna put that out there. I tallied about 65 questions, so it's gonna take me a minute to go through them, but they're all gonna be listed somewhere in the description or in the comments or something with timestamps. So if you want to hear the answer to something in particular, feel free to scroll through. Or, like, get yourself a cup of tea or a snack or something, or run yourself a bath. Oh my god. Should I be answering this in the bath? No, it'll be too long. You can run a bath though, or you can just lie in bed and try to fall asleep to my voice or something. But settle in, because this is going to be quite the long one. But thank you for asking me all this stuff. It's kind of interesting to me that you might be curious about, or like wanting to know things about me. I don't know. It's very flattering. So yeah. Oh, up top, as if I forgot. Of course, thank you so much for listening to these videos and for sticking around with me and for wanting to hang out whenever I do show up on this channel. It means so much, and I genuinely meant what I said in my last video, or the one before, which was that I literally, whenever, even if I'm not around, I do really think about you and about this channel. And yeah, it seems like I'm far, but I'm really not that far. I'm never that far. All right. So yes, thank you. I really appreciate it. And let's get started with some answers. All right. Oh boy. So I've tried to group them a little bit into categories so that hopefully there's a bit of a flow through the questions. So if you're not feeling a particular topic or something, feel free to skip ahead or something. But you know, I'm also, you can just hang out too and sit back, and I'm gonna stop telling you how to listen to this video. You get it. It's a Q&A, right? All right, I'll get on with it. Oh, shut up, dude. Oh, God. All right, let's do it. Okay. Why do you make ASMR videos? I make them because I enjoy them, and I think it's a fun, like, creative outlet for me, and you know, I don't know, I enjoy making them. You seem to enjoy listening to them, and yeah, I find ASMR in general, role plays as well, to be very comforting, to be very soothing, and yeah, I thought, why not make some? And I'm having a lot of fun, so that's why I make these videos. Are most of your role plays based on situations you've dealt with, or are they completely made up? They're I heard it, and I feel like I'm gonna be saying a lot throughout this video. Oh no, I'll try to keep it in check. Oh fuck. They're kind of like extrapolations of real life things, or some of them are. I don't know. Like like the really silly kind of moment ones are kind of just, you know, situations that would oh god, fuck. I'm gonna say so much that they're like naturally occurring situations is what I'm trying to say. Oh god. And some of them are actually extrapolations of like real life things. Most notably is the what's it called? About your father one. That was about my friend. Yeah, the situation's not exactly the same, but it was an extrapolation of that. And yeah, the X ones are, what were those based on? Oh, it was the ending. It was the ending of La La Land, actually, where, you know, they kind of look at each other from across the room like years later. That was kind of the inspiration for that. I was kind of wondering what a conversation between them would look like, and that's kind of what sparked those two videos. And yeah, I think that's it. Where do you find your inspiration? Excuse me. Inspiration comes from everywhere. I mean, from life, from movies, from music, from TV shows, from, you know, nature. I don't know. Inspiration happens to everyone all the time. I think the biggest thing is, like, how do you transform that initial spark into something that's actually worthwhile, you know? Like putting in the work to take inspiration and make something of it. I think that's the hardest part. Inspiration is very easy to come by. At least for me it is. And then, you know, people have ideas all the time. And then it's really about what you choose to make of those ideas. That's what it's about to me. Yeah. Which video so far has been your favorite to do? I don't know. They're all pretty similar in terms of, like, the process of making them. In terms of which one's my favorite that I've made, I think the first ex-girlfriend role play, the You Were the One. You Were the One. I think that was my favorite. I remember very distinctly writing it, recording it, doing all of it, and then just feeling like, kind of like having that be the bar that I would judge all of my videos by. And I actually took quite a bit of a break after that video, just because, I mean, I was busy and stuff was happening, but then also whenever I would try to come back, I would always kind of compare those videos, like the videos that I was making, to that one, just being like, it's not as good. And, you know, yeah, it kind of blocked me for a little bit because I really liked that video. And then the one that I released afterwards was the poetry one, which I really like. I mean, I love poetry and life in general, and I quite like that video. I wouldn't have put it out had I not liked it, but that one was definitely a conscious, like, effort of, like, pushing through that moment and just putting out something that was, like, in my opinion, not as good as the other video, or at least not as well written, but that was still, like, you know, I have to put something out and get over this fucking block, you know? So that's, yeah, so I guess that one was my favorite. What have you been up to during this period of absence? Well, lots of things. I mean, I have 3 jobs at the moment, 4-ish, but yeah, I do a lot of freelance work, and so my days start at about 9 a.m. and they end often with me at like 11:30, midnight, 1 a.m. in bed on my laptop still working. Like, I am just really busy. I'm done with school now, but it's a lot of work all the time, so that's been happening. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, and then you miss a deadline, and then it just gets easier to miss the next one, and then the next and the next, and it's just like, it's just hard to get back into the beat of things, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I was genuinely really busy and exhausted is what the real answer is. Yeah, nothing in particular. Just doing stuff constantly. Number 6, the 2 from the You Were the One miniseries. Do they just part ways for good then? You know what? I don't know. Their fate has yet to be sealed. I haven't written the series yet. I think it's going to be at least 2 more videos about them. I don't know. Should they get back together? I feel like it would be really lovely if they did, but also like, I don't know. I kind of, yeah, I really don't know. We'll see. I think they do get back together, but not right now. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Can you put some of the Let Me Sing You to Sleep videos on your Spotify? Yeah, that's the thing with those videos, is that those songs are copyrighted. And while you can put covers on Spotify and on streaming platforms, you have to pay for a license, which is about, if I remember correctly, like $50, either a video or per song, which means I would have to drop at least like $250 of my own money just to put it on there, which, I mean, as much as I love to please you, is kind of steep. And if I have to pay per song, which I think is what it is, it's going to be much steeper than that. So, yeah, no, I don't see that happening for the time being. They are on the Tingles app though, which allows you to close your phone. So if you're on there, you can do that. Maybe? I don't know. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's expensive. What is the most difficult part about doing ASMR videos? Hands down, the hardest part is writing these videos, because they're essentially one-sided conversations of just me talking, and I mean, I say a lot of the same things, and it's hard to kind of write content that is not repetitive. At least for me, I find it very difficult. Yeah, I mean, once the stuff is written, recording it, I generally record in one take, and then editing is a breeze, so that's really fine. The thing that holds me back in a lot is definitely the writing. And I also want to put out, like, if I can, I like to put out material that's like nuanced and, that has a good story arch to it or something. So it takes a little bit of time. So, yeah, and I'm also the other thing is that I'm so critical of myself as well. So, there's also that. Was making ASMR scary in the beginning? No, not really. I mean, it was just me talking by myself to no one in particular. So, that's not super scary. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, not really. I'm also not putting that much of myself out there, so it's not like I'm being super vulnerable either, which might be more scary, but this is fine. Yeah. Would you... Oh my god, my elbow's on the table and it's making noise. Sorry. Would you like to make a role play in Spanish? I don't speak Spanish, so I'm leaning towards no. Yeah, that's a heavy lean towards no. I feel like it would be super awkward if I like tried to speak Spanish for 10 minutes, not speak like as a non-Spanish speaker. I do want to make one in French though. I still want to do that. I just have to do it. But yeah, I'll at some point I think I'll come out with something in French. I think that could be fun. Do you have any plans to make those LDR videos? Yes. God. Yeah, I do. They literally, the artwork for those is like all ready to go. It's like my favorite artwork I think that I have, or at least in the top for sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's just about, I also like, I haven't really found the exact angle that I want for those videos. I don't know if it's going to be like a Skype call thing, or like a meeting at the airport thing, or like a saying goodbye thing. Probably not a saying, like that'll be real sad. Oh, but I like sad things. I don't know. I really don't know. But yes, I mean, yeah, they're on my list of things to do. I just have to decide, which is always very difficult. Any lullaby series coming in the near future? Yes. Yes, there's always a lullabies video in the making. Remember when I said that writing was the tricky part for me? So the thing with lullaby videos is that the songs are already written for me. So there's less writing involved. So I tend to use those as kind of like buffers or something, because they're just a little bit easier for me to do. And plus I really like making them. So yes, there's always going to be a lullabies video on the way, you know. What are your plans for your channel? Good question. I don't know that I have a particular plan for this channel. I mean, I'm quite happy with like just using this as a creative outlet and just putting out content that I like when I feel like putting it out, when I feel like it's right to put it out. And I'm not really into the whole, you know, self-promo thing of like trying to grow a YouTube channel or whatever. I'm really quite happy with just keeping this very, you know, organic and artisanal in some sense. Do you know what I mean? Just like very, I don't know, just like I'll keep putting out content that I like, and hopefully people stick around to watch it. But yeah, I don't know, no real like plans or like I'm not aiming at a certain trajectory or something for this channel. It's just very, I don't know, it's just a fun thing to do, you know? Would you have an upload schedule in the future or post on random days? I am probably going to keep posting on random days. Just because, yeah, my schedule is, obviously being a freelancer, it's just my schedule is quite unpredictable. And so an upload schedule would just stress me the fuck out. So, yeah, but I get it though. I'm really, yeah, I don't upload very much. I know, but I just don't think I could stick to an upload schedule. I could literally come out and be like, I'm going to post every, you know, Thursday or whatever, and just like constantly disappoint you. Literally constantly. So I'd rather just maybe not, you know, just, you know, I feel like it's also, I don't know, kind of every time I upload now, it's kind of like a nice surprise, you know. Can you do a video where you would just read a book for us? What, like you did? Can you read? Oh my god. I'm terrible at this. Can you do a video where you would just read a book for us? Like, oh, the irony. I just got the irony of that moment. Okay. Read a book for us like you did in bedtime poetry. It was really tough getting through that question. Yeah, I used to do this thing called Ruby Reads where I just would read a book, but then I kind of started that series with Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea, and that was because someone had asked me to, and I had the book next to me, and I was like, sure, let's do that. And then I realized or like remembered more like that I really don't like Hemingway's writing. In all honesty, I think he's like, oh god, I know Hemingway's such a like treasured American writer, but like I think he's so overrated. I'm really not into his writing at all. And so I found myself really dreading those videos, which is crazy because I love to read and I love books. And yeah, so I just scrapped the series, and I'm probably going to boot it back up again with something that I'm actually interested in reading. So yes, I would love to do that. What are your favorite channels? So here's the thing. I'm very particular about roleplay videos. I don't listen to that many channels, which is not to say that there's not a lot of great content. It's just that I'm quite particular. And in terms of actually in terms of ASMR videos, like broad category ASMR, as well. In terms of role plays, I mean, I tend to like voices where the speaker has like a lower register. I just like, I don't know, personal preference, I guess. Yeah, in terms of role plays, who do I listen to? Well, oh, that's the other thing too, like, the role plays I listen to, there's a good chance that they don't really do girlfriend audio stuff, so, I don't know that this is particularly useful to them, but I'll still shout them out, because they're good fucking channels. JacksAudio, obviously, was actually the inspiration for, what video was that? Oh, I'm sorry I left. He did a version originally, and I messaged him and I was like, can I please do it too? Because it was such a good idea, and he was so nice about it. Yeah, he's great. Nighthaven, obviously, does really good. They're like very sweet, lovely audios. They're great. Super chill. They're kind of like the equivalent of like a warm blanket, you know? They're great. OakenAudio is also good. Literally Cardlin, like, you could be into like, Cardlin has a video for every single person on this planet. Like, literally. He puts out like ridiculous amounts of content. He's like an empire of, roleplay ASMR. So there has to be something for you in his repertoire. Like, it's insane. He's doing such good things. Yeah. CabinintheWoods was also good, but he's just doing other stuff on Patreon now. I don't think he's on YouTube anymore. Yeah. I'm sure there are others. Those are the ones I can think of right now. And in terms of ASMR in general, I mean, favorite artist for sure has to be Marno. MarnoASMR is just like, he is to ASMR what Bo Burnham is to comedy. Alright, he's doing his own fucking thing. He's playing a different game, honestly. It's so good. He's so creative and so entertaining, and like, oh my god, he's like such a breath of fresh air. He's doing something that's completely different. Well, not completely different, it's still ASMR. It's still ASMR. But it's like, I love his stuff. If you don't know about him, which, like, he's like a pretty big channel, but if you don't, definitely, he's like insane. I think the last, he does like these role plays where you don't know what role play it is. The last one he did, like, I could not deal. It's so funny. And that's kind of the thing with his channel, is that, like, they're genuinely so entertaining that I can't sleep, which is kind of counterintuitive, but it's so worth it, you know? Yeah, so I'll either listen to him or ASMRMagic is good. Oh my god, how could I forget? Fucking MadamWigglesworth is like such a great channel filled with like lovely queer goodness. Like, yeah, that's also such a good channel. Yeah. I guess those are the, like, broad strokes. Those are the ones that I would recommend, I guess. Which also isn't to say, like, there's so much good content in this community. Like, genuinely, so many people are doing fucking amazing work. I also just don't have time to listen to that much ASMR. That's the other thing. But, you know, a ton of great content creators, truly. Okay, I really got kind of carried away with that question. Alright. This question I love. Do you think you and Grace's Grove have similar voices? Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely think we do. Yeah, I remember when I had posted like a few videos, and I was just like curious as to what other people were doing. I was just kind of like looking around in the community and seeing like who's around, and I found Grace's channel actually pretty quickly. And I remember just being like, oh fuck, like we sound really similar, I feel. I think both of our voices again are kind of like that lower register type voice, you know? But she's great. See, so many good people in this community. It's great. Do you watch Sweet as Honey? She's my favorite RP person. None taken? Alright. No, I'm just kidding. Again, I don't watch that much roleplay. I see her stuff. I mean, I'm definitely subscribed to her, so I see her stuff. She puts out so much content too, like, how? You know, like, amazing. And yeah, I've listened to a few of her videos. They're really good. She's great. Yeah, I just don't really have that much time, but she's doing such good things as well. So many good content creators, you know? ASMR audios or ASMR videos? Which do you like to watch personally? In terms of like role plays, I definitely prefer audios. I think the videos just like a tad too much for me. I think the audios are good. Even like with traditional ASMR videos, I watch videos, but I kind of just start them and then put my phone away. I just listen to them. Yeah, except for Marno sometimes, because again, like, fully entertained. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I generally don't really look at the screen when I'm listening to ASMR. Did you expect your channel to get to where it is now? If not, what did you think was going to happen to your channel? No, I think this is pretty accurate. I mean, sorry. I don't know that I really expected anything really, but like, yeah, this like slow, steady incline is kind of, I don't know, it seems like it makes, I don't know, yeah. I just kind of decided to put out videos and, you know, I just kind of assumed that people who wanted this content would gravitate to it and somehow find it, and I guess you did, and yeah, I don't know. I didn't really expect that much too with this channel, so yeah. I don't know how to wrap this question up, I feel like. Next question. If your channel really takes off, will you be making a career out of this? And what do you do currently, if you don't mind me asking? Well, I currently make exactly $0 off of this channel. YouTube has told me many a time that they just really don't want to monetize my channel. I've been told it was inappropriate content, and then I was told that I was duplicating material, which I also know that there's this other channel that took my videos and ripped them, so I don't know. Yeah, but no, they don't want to monetize me, so it'll be pretty hard for me to make a career out of this. And what do you do currently? You know what? I actually don't think I can tell you, just because it would be a pretty direct link. It'd be very easy for you to find me if I told you, I think. But I will say that I'm in the editing field, and I will also say that you have 100% encountered my work before. Intriguing. Just like, I don't mean like in this channel, obviously, but just in your daily life, or yeah, you have 100% seen things that I have done. Alright. Does anyone in your life know about this channel? If they don't, would they be surprised? No, no one in my life knows about this channel, actually. For the unique and simple reason that, like, I just feel like if I knew that someone around me was watching these videos, it would 1000% influence my content. I would constantly be thinking about it while I'm recording, while I'm writing, and I feel like I would start to censor myself, or I would say certain things that are just not true to me, just because, like, I don't know, I'm also kind of a people pleaser, so I would, like, I feel like I would start catering my content to them. It would be weird. Yeah, I would rather have that be a separate thing, you know? And would they be surprised? I think they would, yeah. Just because I don't think any of them listen to ASMR, so that in itself would, I think, be kind of a bit of a jolt. And yeah, I also don't really do anything in terms of acting. I'm a pretty quote-unquote artistic person in life, but I haven't really done anything related to acting ever. So I think that would just, as a general statement, be a little bit surprising, yeah. Do you plan on making some other ex-girlfriend roleplays? Yeah. I don't know that you like them so much, but I really enjoy making them. I love writing them. I feel like that dynamic is so interesting because, like, there's so much history there, and there's always, like, a little bit of residual stuff, you know, whether it be, like, feelings or anger or resentment, or there's like a really deep wells of emotion in that connection that's really interesting for me to explore. Yeah, I just like that tension between those characters. I think that's really interesting. So I love them, and I love making them, but they are kind of a bummer to listen to sometimes, you know, depending on the roleplay, I guess. But yeah, do you like them? I don't know. I quite like them. So yeah, I'd be very down to keep doing them, for sure. Have you done any other professional acting or voice acting before? No, not at all, actually. Acting has never been part of my life in any way. I guess, dancing in a little bit you kind of have to act, but not like in a very explicit way, so I guess not. What else? I'll take it as a compliment, though, that you're asking me that question. So whether it was or not, I don't know, but I will take it as such. What else is going on in your life other than doing ASMR? Hobbies / work. Tons of work. So yeah, there's that. And my hobby / kind of my job as well. I think I've told you this before, but I'm a dancer, actually, so that takes up a lot of my time. I'm at the studio maybe like 4, 5, 6 nights a week, depending on the week. I'm either training or teaching or choreographing or, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, between dance and work, my time is pretty full. So yeah. What did you study in school? I studied business for a long time, and knew I didn't like it, but I kept pushing through, and I was like, it's fine, I can fake it, I can do this, it's okay. And then I all but had a breakdown, and I was like, this sucks. It's really not for me. And so I studied English literature instead. And that was a much better fit for me. I really loved it. Yeah, I miss university. Actually, you know what? I miss the idea of university. I miss, like, hanging out with my friends at university. But a lot of them are currently doing their master's or PhD or something, and they're struggling. Or, like, I still have friends who are still working on their undergrad, and they're in, I think it's final season right now, and they're not happy. And I definitely don't miss that. But the general idea of university, I do miss. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Do you realize the impact you have on people's lives? I mean, you tell me sometimes, but it's hard for me to grasp. But that's such a sweet, nice thing to say. Yeah, that makes me quite happy. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's hard to conceptualize that, but I'm glad I could help. Next question. How are you doing, sweetie? I'm alright. Doing alright. Yeah. How are you? Good? Where are you from? I was born in Montreal, and then I moved to Toronto for a little bit, and now I'm back in Montreal. So, there you go. Canada is where I'm from. Ooh, the big question. What's your sexual orientation? Currently, the label that feels most comfortable to me is probably pansexual. I used to go as bi, but pan feels a little bit better just because of the simple fact that it's not restricted to the gender binary, which I prefer. Yeah. I kind of am more into this is super cliche, but I'm definitely more into like people than gender. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It makes sense to me. I don't know. Are you with anyone? No, not currently. Very single. I've been single for a while, actually. Yeah, I'm not very good at the whole relationship thing, ironically. It's just, honestly, I'm just really busy. Like, it genuinely just keeps coming back to that. It's just that I have a lot of things I like kind of to make my own schedule. I kind of like to go wherever, whenever I want. And that tends to make people kind of mad. I mean, with good reason. But yeah, people would tend to complain that like I don't really have that much time to dedicate to them, and they're right, you know, and I definitely don't blame them for getting frustrated with that. So yeah, I don't know. I like my life right now though, so I don't think I would change that for anyone. For now. You never know. I don't know. But yes, I'm very single. Are you real? Yeah. Yeah, man. I feel, feels pretty real. Where do we find wonderful women like you? I guess not in the club. Well, I'm sure there are tons of really lovely women in the club, although I will say that I hate clubbing with such an intense passion. Like, I really cannot do it. I don't see the appeal. It is not my scene at all. But again, I'm sure tons of lovely women can be found in the club. So, keep looking, I guess. I don't know. Also, yeah, this comes right off the heels of me being like, I'm too busy for a relationship. I can't spend time with anyone. It's like, where do I find a woman like you? I don't know that you want to, is number one, but I don't know. There are tons of really great people all around, you know? What's your favorite way to wind down after a stressful day? Probably like a good, like, Netflix session, or like reading. Oh my god. Or taking a bath is, yeah, that's the best. I don't have a bath where I live, but my parents do at their place, so whenever I go back, I do tend to just like take advantage of that because it's the best, especially in like fall and winter. Ugh, so good. Yeah. What kind of music do you listen to? Broadly speaking, I would say alternative music is my jam. I really am having a lot of trouble. Like, I can't really do pop music anymore. At least like the like very engineered pop music. I find it to be very, I don't know, it's not for me anymore, unfortunately. Alternative music generally is just a little bit more interesting to listen to, I feel. Yeah, what have I been listening to? Let's look through my phone. Obviously, the new Billie Eilish album is so fire, which I guess, is she pop? I don't know. I think she's definitely alternative, but she's like popular. She's like blowing up, so does that make her a pop artist? I don't know. Probably not, right? Yeah. My brother literally texted me the other day and he was like, "Who's Billie Eilish? She scares me." I was like, that's funny. But no, I really like her music. Who else? Oh, Stella Donnelly, who's like this Australian indie rock artist, just put out an album in 2019, which is so good. I've been listening to that album a lot. Yeah, I'm also really into like old R&B, like R&B from like the 60s and 70s, or like R&B in that style. You know, my favorite album of all time is the Shirley Nanette album. It used to be on Apple Music, but they took it off. I don't know why. I'm very upset about it, but I think her stuff is still available on Spotify. But her album Never Coming Back is by far my favorite album. It's so good. I really like it. I've been listening to Sun Little is also good. I have trouble saying his name. Sun Little? Sun Little? Sun Little? Yeah, that person. His album is also spectacular. His self-titled one. Really good stuff. Yeah. What is your favorite book or story of all time? I could literally talk about this stuff forever. I'm gonna try not to, but I love talking about books and music and stuff. A genre in general that I'm really into, I'm most drawn to literature from like modern literature, postmodern, contemporary literature. I like literature that is very aware of the novel as a form of presentation. Like novels that play with the boundaries of what is a novel, to me, are really interesting. I'm thinking specifically of authors like Ali Smith or Zadie Smith. Yeah, those are really interesting. One of my favorite writers, who's really, I will say this up front, is really not for everyone, is Clarice Lispector, who's a Brazilian author. I think she's originally Eastern European, but she grew up / lived for a really long time in Brazil. Her writing is originally in Portuguese, but it's been translated in many languages. I read it in English because I don't speak Portuguese. But her writing is, like, her books are really small. Like, they're like 100 to 200 pages or something. But they're so, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, stream of consciousness is not really a strong enough term to describe this writing. It's just like, yeah, just pick up one of her books, like read an excerpt of it. You'll know exactly what I mean. It's just like a lot of it, like some of her books have plots, but the book is really not about the plot. It's just about what the plot kind of does to the characters, and it's unbelievable. Her writing is so good, and it's like, and the reason I say like it's not for everyone is that it's genuinely it's a genuinely challenging read. Like, it's a difficult read just because you kind of have to make the conscious effort to let go and kind of abandon yourself to her writing, because if you try to understand every single thing she says, you're just going to drive yourself absolutely insane. You just kind of have to let go and let her take you on this like journey of like subconscious exploration. It's fucking wild. I love her writing. So yeah, The Passion According to GH I think would be up there for sure, which is one of her books. So yeah, it's kind of like, sorry, I'm still on this. It's kind of like if Kafka's The Metamorphosis were to be told in like a really abstract, kind of introspective way rather than being about the plot. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know. It's really good. I really enjoy her writing. Ali Smith is also like one of my favorite writers as well. She's like, I think she's Scottish or something. But yeah, her writing is also great. How to Be Both is such a good book. Highly recommend. That one's a really accessible one. Well, yeah, it's accessible, but it's still it's definitely a modern / contemporary piece of writing, but I think it's really good. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about this stuff because we're gonna be here like in fucking 5 hours of just me rambling about books if I keep going. So I'm gonna move on now. Are you looking forward to The Last of Us Part 2? Are you kidding? Yes, of course. I'm so annoyed that they keep not putting out a release date. I'm so annoyed, but also like, you know, take your time, make it amazing, whatever. But also like, fucking release it already, please. My God, the gameplay trailer was so good. I can't wait. It's gonna be, yeah. I'm not even a little part of me is worried I'm gonna be disappointed, which is arguably extremely naive, but also, yeah, I'm very excited for it. What are you into lately? Podcasts, shows, books, music? Well, I kind of talked about books and music already, but I love a good podcast. I'm just gonna pull up the podcast app right now just to see what I've been listening to. A lot of Front Burner, actually, which is a CBC News podcast. It's like a 30-minute episodes every weekday where they talk about politics and stuff. That's really interesting. That's probably the one I listen to the most, just because they're shorter and there's one every day, so I kind of just listen to it while I'm getting ready. Yeah. Song Exploder is also really good. They kind of just like take a song and have the artist talk about that specific song. That's really interesting. What else have I been listening to? Oh, JVN's podcast, Getting Curious, is also really, really good. JVN is just such a treasure of a person. But also he's like highly political, which I totally enjoy. And yeah, he's good at like, I mean, be warned though, he does interrupt his guests a lot, which can get a little frustrating at times, but he's also like, the stuff they talk about is really interesting. So yeah, those kind of take up my time a lot, but in terms of like, I mean, I do still really like This American Life, obviously, but I just don't have that much time to listen to like fiction podcasts. But I really enjoy that one whenever I have the chance. Or The Moth. The Moth is also really, really good. I've cried so many times to Moth episodes. Yeah. So, yeah. And in terms of TV shows, honestly, most of HBO's Sunday night content is good. Although not so much now that we've moved into like the fall, or not the fall, the spring/summer programming or whatever. But High Maintenance was one of my favorite shows. It just finished its 3rd season. So there's that. That's a really good one. John Oliver is also really good. The Circus, which also finished its season. I really, really love that. I think that was such... I would get so excited every Sunday to watch a show about American politics. Yeah, The Circus was really good. I'm glad Veep is back. Veep is also fucking funny. Love that show. And, yeah, that's what I've been watching. Oh my god, I've been watching Our Planet, actually, on Netflix. And I'm like, I'm so into it. I'm like fully constantly amazed. I'm just like literally watching my screen, mouth agape, just like in complete awe of the cinematography of that show. It's so good. Plus, like, animals. Are you serious? Like, so interesting. I love it. What's your favorite movie? That is a difficult question. I don't know that I have a single favorite movie. I really like, I mean, Across the Universe is maybe one of my favorite movies for sure. Because of so many things. Because the Beatles, because the artistry of it, because it's colorful. It's kind of like Moulin Rouge, but Moulin Rouge with like the Beatles and Jim Sturgis and Evan Rachel Wood, you know? So better. Yeah, I really like Across the Universe. It's like my go-to movie to just like feel better. Also, I watch It's a Wonderful Life maybe like 5 times every holiday season. I love that movie. I think it's such a nice, heartwarming classic. So that's definitely in my list as well. What else? What else? Yeah, those are the only 2 that come to mind right now. So I'm going to answer that. I'm going to really regret this answer in like 20 minutes when I think of another movie. And then 20 minutes later when I think of another. Like, I don't know. I love watching movies. But, yeah. Those are the ones that come to mind right now. If you had to choose a film or series to live in, which would you choose? I would probably... I was going to say in Across the Universe, but because it's literally just fresh in my mind, but shit goes pretty bad in there, so maybe not. Maybe in like... maybe... Oh my god. I was literally about to say something else, but like, how can I not answer Harry Potter? Pfft, please. So that's going to be my definitive answer, but I was going to say maybe like Julie and Julia, but like in the Julie time. You know, like with Julia Child, like Paris in the 20s or 40s. Maybe Midnight in Paris. I don't know. Oh, but with all those authors, oh my god. I don't know. I still think I would choose Harry Potter though. Just because like, I mean, I know it's dangerous and people died, but maybe like Harry Potter post Harry's revolution, you know? So that it's a little bit quieter and Voldemort's not around. So maybe that. Although like the whole thing with the cursed child happened, which like, listen, let's not think about that. I'm just going to pretend that one. I will forever pretend that book just, or it didn't happen. It's not, no, it didn't happen. So yeah, I would say Harry Potter post Harry's revolution. The final season of Game of Thrones is almost here. What are your expectations, and who's your favorite/worst character from the series and moment? It is almost here. What day are we today? I think I'm literally... Is today the day? I think I'm releasing this the day Game of Thrones is coming back. Oh my god. Lovely. Expectations? I don't know, actually. I try not to... I haven't read the books, although I've heard that we're diverging quite strongly from the books anyways, but yeah, I haven't read the books. I don't really like look into fan theories or whatever. So I don't really know. I feel like Jaime has to kill Cersei, right? Like that kind of has to be. It has to happen, right? Because that's like who he is like kind of on the bad side, but also like secretly rooting for the people when shit gets out of hand. And Cersei's definitely out of hand. She's like fully unhinged. So I feel like, will it be satisfying if he doesn't kill Cersei in the end? I don't know. Maybe. I actually, and in terms of like the obvious question of who wins, I have no idea. It could go either way. So I don't know. Favorite characters? I don't know. I like a lot of characters. I'll tell you who I don't like is fucking Bran Stark. That dude is weird now. Like, fully weird. Like, I rewatched actually last season recently, and Bran is such a weirdo. Like, get over yourself, dude. Literally, people will call him Bran. He's like, I am not Bran anymore. Like, fucking get out of here, dude. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not into Bran's storyline, but whatever. Yeah. If you could write music with any 3 artists from across history, who would you choose? Oh, that's quite the question. Across history is a big question. I feel like I have to say Shirley Nanette because I love her album so much, and I think it's so good. Do you know who I think is a really good writer? Is fucking Hozier. Hozier has some really good lyrics. I really like his writing. Plus, I feel like if I were to write with him, we would like exile ourselves in some kind of like Irish like house or cottage in the countryside or something and like make a whole month of it or something. It would be great. Yeah, and I don't know who else. Maybe like Childish Gambino, actually. Fucking, that came out of left field, but also like he's fucking doing some good things. So yeah, maybe that. That was what a weird collection of people. Whatever. But yeah. I would do that. If only also just to get into like Donald Glover's mind, just have an insight into it. Just be like, how do you do it? Do you know what I mean? If you only had one last chance to give the most important person in your life one last gift, what would it be? I don't know. I mean, in my circles, we tend to give experiences when we give gifts. We don't really give material things so much. We tend to give like, certificates for like restaurants or like a night out somewhere or show tickets or something. So that gift would probably just be something along those lines of just like, let's spend time together. Let's have an evening together or something. Or let's go on a trip somewhere. Something. I think that would be my gift. I don't know to who though, but that would be the gift. If you had a choice of hair and eye color, what would you choose? I am a brunette, kind of like being a brunette. I think the most boring answer ever, but I think I would stick to it. I feel like I can't really picture myself with any other hair color. In terms of eye color, I have brown eyes, but I always wanted blue eyes. I love blue eyes. I think they're so beautiful. Just like light eyes in general, like blue or green or something. Yeah, but I don't know. My eyes are actually, I feel like my eyes are my best feature, or one of my best features. So I'm pretty content with them at the moment, but I remember being young and so like desperately wanting blue eyes. I blame Disney. I don't know. What breed of cats do you like the most? I don't know any breed of cats. I like all cats, I guess. Yeah, I don't know anything. I know a lot of dog breeds, but I really don't know any cat breeds. I'm just now realizing that. But, the kind of cat that's cute is like the ones that Taylor Swift has, I think. It's like they're like all little fluffy with tiny little ears. Those are really cute. I don't know what they're called. But yeah. What's your star sign / do you believe in astrology? I am a Libra. And do I believe in astrology? Kind of. Not like, I wouldn't make like super, I wouldn't base like my decisions off of it, but I do find it interesting I love a good Libra meme. I definitely identify with the Libra personality. I'm very indecisive, very much a people pleaser, very flirty. Yeah, I definitely identify with the Libra tropes, I guess. But yeah, so I medium believe in astrology, I guess. If you were to live in any place, imaginary or real, for a year, what would it be and who would you bring with you? I very recently came back from London. I was there for about a month and it was the best. I love London. I completely fell in love with the city, with the people, with the accents, with the architecture, with the vibe of the place. I just like, I've traveled a lot in my life, and honestly, like, I've never really felt this compelled to be somewhere than I do with London. I feel like I came back home after the trip and I was like, I need to rethink my life to make London happen. Like, I need to live in London at some point. So I would say that. And I don't really know that I'd bring anyone with me. To be honest, I think I would just kind of go there by myself and still maintain connections with the people I have here, but I don't know, maybe like a best friend or two or something, but yeah. If you could have a conversation with any person, dead or alive, who would it be? Interesting. I would love to talk to my mother's parents, my grandparents who have both passed away, but actually, you know what? I would talk to all my grandparents. I never met my father's mother, but I've heard so many stories and I would love to talk to her. I would also love to talk to my mother's parents because I actually, even when they were alive, we didn't really speak the same language. So I never really got to communicate with them and get stories from them. Plus they lived very, very far away, like across the planet. So I never really got to know anything about them. So that would be really fun. And fun or interesting, maybe more interesting than fun. I don't know. Which people influenced you the most as a person other than your parents? My friends, definitely my friends. I would say, well, probably not more so than my parents. I'll give them a little bit of credit. But my friends for sure have influenced me. People especially that I've met in university / my current roommates, who are the first people I lived with other than my family. They have changed my entire life, truly. I always felt, I grew up kind of like suburban Montreal, and I always felt that I was gonna, it just felt like not totally my place, you know? And then I moved to Montreal and I found these people and I was like, oh, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This makes much more sense. I found people who are much more like me and who, yeah, are so supportive and nice and just like really, really smart and insightful. And yeah, they fully changed my life for sure. Where do you see yourself in 10 years and where would you like to be in that time? I see myself in London, to be perfectly honest. Hopefully. I mean, I do have things that tie me to Montreal for the moment, so I can't really go right now, but I would hope that I will have made the move by that time. Yeah, I just need to live in London, you know, that's just what needs to happen. And where would you like to be in that time? In London. No, I'm guessing you mean more in terms of like life progression. I don't know. I'm quite happy. I'm a project person. I like to have projects, work on them for a long time, or like longish time, and then deliver them and have those be a thing and then move on to another project. I'm not so much a career type. I think freelance fits my personality much better. Not only because it's more, in this specific case, it's more artistic, but it's also, I don't know that I could just be in a field and do a career for the rest of my life. Like I do like the variety that it provides. So I really don't know where I'll be in 10 years. I have no idea. What type of person are you in real life / do you have a favorite character that you like to impersonate? I think this character that I play here is the character that I like to impersonate the most and that I'm best at. She's just far more confident than I am, much more assertive. Yeah, I'm definitely more of a shy person. I used to be such an extrovert, and I think it kind of changed around like high school. I became much more introverted, much more quiet. Yeah, I do still have that in me. Like I definitely do see it when I'm comfortable around people. I definitely tend to be more extroverted, but I'm more self-conscious about it now, I guess, is the best way to put it. Yeah, so there you go. How would you describe a perfect date for you, and what is your type of person? A perfect date would be, I quite like, oh man, I don't know. I was going to say I quite like a quiet night in, and I really do. I love those where you just like cuddle up on the couch and watch something and just take it easy and just goof around and talk all night. I think those are really lovely. I love a good coffee date as well. I'm a pretty easygoing person, so if I just get to spend time with someone I like, I'm perfectly content, whatever we're doing. I love a good dinner date. I love going, like a movie date is good. I love like going to the gardens or the park or having a picnic, or, you know, literally all the dates are good as long as I'm in good company. And what's my type of person? I gravitate towards, obviously kindness, I think, is such a huge thing that I'm attracted to. Like people who are genuinely kind and who put other people's needs ahead of their own. People who are really, whenever I see someone help someone else, I get very like intrigued. People who are nice, smiley people generally. I think that's just like human nature. People tend to, smiles are accessible, and you know, so I tend to gravitate towards that. I do like, yeah, I guess that's it. Is that really, I mean, I guess it's a combination of things, but I can't really quite put my finger on it. But definitely kindness. If someone is super attractive and then proves to be less than kind, there's literally not a single chance that I would, like, it just, like, I feel it, the feelings dissipate within me. I'm just like, gross, goodbye. Like, yeah, kindness is a really big one for me. What are your thoughts on Shy Guys, and will you be doing a confident girl / shy guy audio? I love a good shy guy. I mean, shy guys tend to be very nice and very compassionate. And, I love shy guys. Will you be doing a confident girl / shy guy audio? Sure. I might have to do a bit of research as to what that looks like, but sure, I would love to. What's the best compliment you've ever received, and what is the creepiest? I guess, I mean, creepiest, it's not really about the compliment. It's about the context and how it's said and where it's said and by whom it is said. So the creepiest, those could be literally the same answer. It could be the best compliment I've ever received, or it could be the creepiest, depending on the situation. I don't know what the best compliment I've ever received is. I think the ones that mean the most to me are the ones that are related to my accomplishments or my work or my personality. Those tend to mean a lot more to me than like, you're really pretty. Like, cool. I didn't do anything for that, but thanks. I mean, it's still very nice and it does make me like all giddy, but I value, I think, compliments that have to do with things that I've actually put effort into. Those are the ones that I value most, I guess. Have you ever had someone like you? Have you ever had someone you like give you mixed signals whether they like you or not, and what would you do about it? Yeah, definitely. Oh my god, I'm just thinking about this one particular case. Yes, definitely. It was infuriating, it was confusing, it was like driving me insane, and I eventually just was like, I just made a move, and it worked. So I guess that's what I did about it. Yeah, I wish I could just be like, just ask them, it'll be fine, but it's fucking terrifying to do. So I guess it would depend on the situation and the person and the relationship you have with that person, but yeah, in that particular instance, I ended up making a move and it went well. Your favorite thing about yourself and strangest thing about yourself. My favorite thing about myself is how I'm a quick learner and I'm very efficient. I like work pretty fast and I do things well, which I think is my favorite thing about me. I'm like well organized and that helps me do things quickly and execute them well. And I'm a fast learner, which is also adding to that mix. I think like I take a lot of pride in my work. I'm just realizing as I answer all of these questions. Yeah. So I guess that would be my favorite thing about myself. The strangest thing about me. I don't know. Oh, actually I do know. I'd never, well, I guess I kind of knew it was strange, but like people have been, anyway, I hate first of all, I hate being chased upstairs. It's the worst feeling in the fucking world, but to the extent that like, I don't like when people walk behind me when I go up the stairs, just because like, it goes back to like my childhood, honestly. My dad used to like, as a funny thing, would like chase me and my brother up the stairs and like would grab our feet and like just like tickle us or whatever to make us laugh. But we were like fully panicking inside, which is why we were laughing. And I think that feeling just kind of stayed with me through adulthood. Like, I really, really hate it. If someone like runs behind me and stares, I will literally just like crumble to the floor and like fetal position, just like I give up. It's just so much stress for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I guess that would be that's a weird thing, right? And even when like people are walking behind me, I'm just constantly, I'll walk up the stairs kind of like sideways almost, just like keeping an eye on the person behind me, just like do not grab my feet or something, which like they would never, but it's also like my mind and heart just like feels it. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. Anyway. How many tacos can you eat? I don't really, I get full really fast actually. And then I get hungry pretty quickly after a meal. But so I probably not that many, but I'm more about like that long-term game. Do you know what I mean? Like I could, if you give me enough time I could probably finish out. Well, I guess that's true of anyone if you give me enough time. But, you know, I don't know. Probably not that many on initial account. Yeah, I love a good taco though. What's your favorite dessert and why? I don't know that this counts as a dessert, but the first thing that came to mind was almond croissants, because they remind me of my time that I spent living in Paris, and I would have them at bakeries, but also I learned how to make them there because I went for, I learned how to cook in Paris and stuff. I went to like cooking school there for a little bit, and yeah, and so now they're kind of like my thing, you know? I'm gonna say it, I make pretty bomb almond croissants. That's like my go-to thing, and so that's kind of what comes to mind. If you could be any kitchen appliance, what would you be and why? Oh, I do not know. I have no idea. I don't know. Like a fridge, maybe? Because that's where all the food is. But I don't know at all. Are you a sports fan? Blue Jays or Maple Leafs? I used to be really big into hockey, though not the Leafs. I was a hardcore Habs fan back when they were doing well. They're shit now, but whatever. But yeah, I stopped watching hockey when my brother and I stopped living together. And then I moved into an apartment where we don't have a TV, we don't have cable, so I don't really watch hockey. I kind of forgot it existed for a second there, which is, but yeah, so I'm sorry, I am a Habs fan though, at heart. Oops. Yeah, so there you go. Dogs or cats, or both or neither, / do you have pets? I'm both a dog and a cat person. I used to be a hardcore dog person because I used to be allergic to cats, but then I moved into an apartment with a cat. The cat has since moved out, but I grew very fond of the cat, and I, somewhere along the road, stopped being allergic to her. And yeah, very much a cat and dog person now. And I literally just burped and just like, it's fine, we'll keep going. Do you have any pets? I used to have a dog. I used to have the best little puppy, but she passed away unfortunately a few years ago. But she was great. She was a boxer and Rottweiler cross. She was such a cute little pup, but yeah, she was great. I miss her. I do want another dog though eventually when I move out of the apartment. I want to get a Bernese Mountain Dog. Yeah, those are in my plans. Maybe I'll have one in London or something. What's your favorite dinosaur and why? I am going to go ahead and say that I like all dinosaurs equally, which is to say not very much. I don't know anything about dinosaurs. I've never seen any of the Jurassic Park movies. It's not my thing really, so I don't know that I have a favorite. Actually, I do know. I don't have a favorite dinosaur. Are you an early bird or a night owl? I'm definitely a night owl. Every time I come back from a trip to Europe, I have jet lag, but the good kind where you wake up at 6:30 a.m. feeling super good. Like, just like organically wake up at 6:30 a.m. And I'm always like, I'm gonna make this last. I'm gonna go to bed early and I'm gonna wake up early and I'm just gonna become a morning person now. And it never sticks. I'm really not a morning person. My average sleep time is about 1 to 2 a.m. So, yeah. What do you wish people would stop asking you? Nothing. I'm very flattered that you want to ask me stuff. I don't know that there's anything that I would ever want you to stop asking me. So, yeah, there you go. And ironically, that was actually the last question. So I don't actually know, how long is this? Oh, it's an hour and a half. Okay. Well, I don't know if you've made it here to this point listening to me ramble. I don't think I would have made it to this point, to be perfectly honest, so kudos to you. So yeah, thank you for asking all of these things. I hope I got to every question. I might have missed a few here and there, but yeah, I'm sorry if I did. If I did miss your question, maybe leave it in the comments and I'll try and answer it there or something. Yeah, I'm gonna go now because my throat is starting to hurt a little bit, but yeah, thank you again so much for sticking around, and hopefully I should be coming up with a video soon. I'm guessing next week, actually. So, yeah, I'll see you soon.